Friends, welcome back to Triveni Memorial Senior Secondary School online classes. Students, today we are going to start one of our another chapter from class 8 in civics, that is our chapter number 7, understanding marginalization. First of all, students, in this chapter we are going to study about socially marginalized people or socially marginalized community. So we need to understand that particular term. So what are marginalized people, who are marginalized people, or what is marginalization? Basically we can say marginalized community or marginalized society is that society or that group of people who are aparted from the society or who are different from the society in one or another term. They can have different customs, they could have different traditions, they could have different dressing sense, different languages, different eating habits, etc. And when a particular group in the society is not apart, that means not look likes or is certainly different from the other member in the society, what happened? The major community or the major part started dominating those people, and those people would not be able to enjoy all fringes or all benefits that all the people are enjoying in the society. So such group of people are called as marginalized people, or such community is called as marginalized community. So in this chapter I told you they can have different custom, they can have different languages, culture, etc. So in this chapter we will study about some of the marginalized people. One story is given here regarding Adivasi. Now in this story what happened, one boy is there, they are sitting, you can see the whole family is watching television. On television what he is watching, that particular Adivasi family is shown on TV, and they were wearing very you can say different dresses and doing some very weird dance. So that particular child used to ask to his grandfather that, grandpa, whenever I used to see, whenever I used to listen about Adivasis, I found this thing common. Usually either they are showing us dancing in weird form, or either they are showing us wearing headgear, or either on our head, or either they are showing us speaking very different languages. Is there nothing else in our culture that can be shown about us? So his grandfather replied that there was a time period when they had command, they had hold over all the forest resources. They were completely dependent on forests for earning their livelihood. But suddenly one day, or there was a time period occur when what happened, many industrialists forcefully entered the forest, saying that these forests are rich source of mines, and these people, which people? Adivasis need to vacate forest, they need to displace from the forest so that mining work could easily be take place at those forests. His grandfather replied, and in fact his grandfather also said that when they are left with no work in the forest, they need to shift to cities, they need to shift to urban areas for earning livelihood. And in fact that was one of the reason why this particular child was not even sent to the school for a longer duration of time, because they don't have enough money so that they can afford their education. So he replied that he was not even sent to school for various days because they cannot afford education for them. Thereafter, student, our next topic is, who are Adivasis? I already described you. Adivasis were the original inhabitants of forest. What do you mean by original inhabitants? That means these were the persons who grown up in forest regions only, whose life were completely dependent on all the forest product, and they have complete knowledge regarding various natural resources which are obtained from forest. Now if you will see, some examples of various Adivasi community are also given here, like Raukera, Bokaro, these Bhilai. What are these? These are your mining industries that I told you, for what purpose forests were vacated or displaced. So on the place of those forests, these mines were set up, and different Adivasi groups were found at different places like in Orissa, Nagaland, Tripura, Chhattisgarh, etc. And I already told this thing to you, when they migrated to ordinary society, they started working under a particular king or emperor. Whenever they approaches to a particular king, they always used to take the particular products like elephants, timber, wood, etc. for the king. And thereafter, student, they have their different tradition, they have their different language, they have different custom, and also you can see here they believe in different natural spirit. Their way of worshipping God was completely different from the people who were present in the ordinary society. So that is what mentioned here. Now what happened? When Adivasis became part of ordinary society, other religion people started forcing them to go for their religion. For example, they were forced by these people to opt for Christianity religion, so that that religion or their religion could expand, and their religion, means Adivasi's religion, could be vanished up. But these people are so strong that they denied that they are not going to follow their religion, and they would practice their own culture, own tradition and customs. The next topic is Adivasis and stereotypes. Students, in the last chapters I told you the meaning of stereotype, where I told you that stereotypes means building a particular image. Now that image could be positive image, that image could be negative image regarding a particular person, regarding a particular thing. So if we talk about Adivasi, what we can say? We can say people have this stereotyping thinking in their mind regarding Adivasis, that they practice weird tradition, they practice weird culture, customs, and wear head gauge on their head. So these are certain stereotypic thinking regarding Adivasis in the mind of people. And our next topic is Adivasis and development. This is but obvious, student, that with respect to time, Adivasi changed their eating habits, their custom, their tradition, then they also got developed with passage of time. And you can see here they captured large areas, they got settled themselves in different states, and just had access over different resources which were present there in the society. And thereafter, students, this I already told you, they shifted this phenomenon of moving from one place to another place like nomads, and they started leading settled life, and they had direct access over all the forest resources which earlier was there with them. Now they don't have direct access, as they were residing under a particular king or queen or emperor in a particular area. Now you can see here one particular term is used, that is displaced, which I already told you. For the purpose of development, for the purpose of settling various industries, these people, that is Adivasis, they were displaced. Displaced means they were thrown out from the forest for the purpose of establishing mines or industries in the forest regions. Then next topic is, when these people denied not to vacate their original place, original forest, even they were militarized, that is, they were displaced off from the forest with the help of army or with the help of military. Thereafter, students, other topic are there, why, what sort of conclusion these industries were giving in court regarding Adivasis, that they were going to develop various building, they were going to do various construction work in these forests, which will be helpful in the development of society. Now next topic is malnourished. Subtitle that I already told you, when these people would be displaced from the forest and they would not be left with any source of livelihood or money left with them, they don't have enough money with them so that they could buy meal even for 2 times, and that is why their children became malnourished, that is, their body parts, their body is not of proper posture, is not of proper shape. And obviously when they would be not having any sort of livelihood in forest, they started shifting themselves to the urban areas, to the cities for doing other occupation, for doing other work, like they engaged themselves in tea plantation, in mason work or in construction work, etc., as per the demand of the work in cities or urban areas. The next topic is minorities and marginalization. Yes, students, what are minorities or who are minorities? Minor community is that community who were minor, that is, who were minimum in number in the society as compared to the majority or as compared to the maximum number of people who are residing in society. What is marginalization? That I already told you. Now, there are certain communities in our society which came under the category of both minorities as well as marginalized community. Examples of those communities are given here. Like one such example is there which is given here is regarding Muslims, and why these communities are marginalized or minorities in the society, because they follow different culture, they practice different custom, and they have different values of their own, which was not obviously accepted by rest of the members of the society. For example, if we talk about Muslims, they also come under the category of marginalized, and they also come under the category of you can say minor community. Why? Because they have different sense of eating, they have different sense of wearing dresses, they have different sense of speaking languages. That is why they come under the category of marginalized people. You can see here, as these people, Muslims, were marginalized people, they were not provided with all those fringes, with all those benefits that other people were enjoying in the society. You can see here, they were not provided with the proper tap water, they were not provided with the proper electricity system, and many more things were not given to them. You can clearly see these things in this particular table. Students, the tables that we seen earlier, what we have seen in those topic is that these marginalized communities, Muslims and other than Muslims, some other communities are also there which are involved under the category of marginalized community as well as minor communities, and they faces discrimination, they faces aparted themselves from the mainstream. What do you mean by the mainstream? Mainstream, you can say the other people who are residing in the ordinary society away from them, because they have different taste, different dressing sense, different habit, culture, etc. Like examples are also given. You can see that Muslims, if we talk about Muslims women, they used to wear burqa, and Muslim men, they used to carry beard. So these things were not accepted in the ordinary society. And they feel the situation of guillotinization in the society. Now what does that means? That means that in a particular local area where a particular community is in majority, say if in a particular local area Hindus are in majority, they started dominating these marginalized people, these Muslims and other scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. So if we want to protect the right of these marginalized people, if we want to protect the right of these minor communities, then what is needed? The government, the constitution needs to frame stronger rules and regulation, new policies and laws which clearly stated that if any individual was found or was involved in dominating these communities, these marginalized communities, or you can say scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, then that would be considered as an offense and they would be given the punishment. Then our last topic is the conclusion of the chapter, in which we clearly saw this thing, how these marginalized communities faced various sort of discrimination, how they were dominated in the society, and strict actions needed to be taken by the government so that they could also feel safeguarded in the society, they could protect them from the various opportunists, and they could also lead the similar life as other people were living in the society. So students, that's it about our chapter. I hope you understand the chapter well, and now we are going to discuss the question answers of the chapter. So let's start, student. Our first question is, what is your opinion, or write in your own words, what do you understand by the word marginalization? I already discussed with you. These are those people who had a certain margin, economic margin or social margin from rest of the people in the society. They generally do not practice or they do not enjoy all those fringes or all those benefits that other people in the society enjoyed. The next question is, list 2 reasons why Adivasis are becoming increasingly marginalized. Why they are becoming increasingly marginalized? Because their custom, their taste, their values were not accepted by the other people in the society, and in oppose of that, or in order of that, they need to adapt the strategies or the culture, the taste of the society itself. That is why day by day they are getting marginalized. The next question is, write one reason why you think the constitution's safeguards to protect a minority community are very important. I already told this thing to you, students. If strict laws, strict policies were not there that clearly safeguards the right of these minority communities or marginalized communities, they would never be able to enjoy all those fringes, all those benefits that other people are enjoying in the society. The next question is, reread the section of minorities and marginalization. What do you understand by the term minority? I already told you. Minority community means that community in the society, that group of people who are less in number in the society as compared to the other people, as compared to the majority community who are more in number in the society. So students, our next question is, you are participating in a debate where you have to provide reason to support following statement. Firstly, Muslims are marginalized community. Using the data provided in the chapter, list 2 reasons that you would give. You can give any reason that I showed you in that data, that they were not given proper tap water, they were not given access to electricity, other resources as well. So you can write any 2 reasons, students. Next question is, that is, they have very little share in all the assess of the things or opportunities that other people are enjoying in the society. The next question is, imagine that you are watching the Republic Day parade on TV with a friend and she remark, look at these tribals. They look so exotic and they seem to be dancing all the time. List 3 things that you would tell her about the lives of Adivasis in India. You can tell them that earlier they were also very rich. Earlier they used to have hold over all the forest resources. Nowadays they are vanishing from the society. They are getting marginalized from the society day by day, because now they have no direct access over any of the forest resource. The next question is, would you agree with the statement that the economic and social marginalization are interlinked? Why? Obviously, we agreed with this thing. See student, socially marginalized means a particular community, a particular group of people who were not accepted by the society. That group of people which is obviously not accepted by the society is not going to provide them any sort of job, the society is not going to provide them any means to earn their livelihood. So what does that mean? That means they have very less money in their hands, and when they have very less money, very less wealth in their hand, obviously what does that signifies or that means? That means they also became economically marginalized. That is the reason we can say that both socially marginalized and economically marginalized, they are interrelated terms. So students, that's it about our chapter. Hope you understand the chapter very well, and thank you so much students.